Hello, Scrufftards, rejects, and degenerates. I'm Scruffy. This is the War Zone, and welcome to Scruffy Tales. And we're gonna make a quick, short video taking a look at the front line, Kursk and Pokrovsk, and more importantly, we're gonna focus a bit on Pokrovsk and the village of Kotlyne, where Ukraine appears to be pushing back and potentially might even have surrounded the village of Kotlyne. Right, so we're starting off with Kotlyne. This is the Mayakovsk 73 map, and I want to show you this because reporting from Ukraine a couple of days ago made a claim that Ukraine pushed out of Pokrovsk, moved along this road here into the southern parts of Kotlyne, and launched a mechanized assault and grabbed this street, this string of buildings right here. So according to reporting from Ukraine YouTube channel, this part was liberated and put under Ukrainian control thanks to a mechanized assault. And here we have Mayakovsk 73 showing us a report of this mechanized assault. So now we have two sources collaborating that Ukraine launched an assault out of Pokrovsk into Kotlyne, into this southern area here. So we're going to have to wait and see if Ukraine, reporting from Ukraine also was correct that that Ukrainian forces managed to push into the village here, securing this street and the country road leading through it. Very interesting to see the developments and the map updates on this assault. And we actually have a third source here, come to think of it. This is Andrew Perpetuous map. This is the road we were talking about. This is the part of Kotlyne that Ukraine potentially has pushed into. And then we have this Ukrainian Cossack 7 destroyed. Right here, smack in the middle of Kotlyne. So this, and this is from the 30th of January and updated 3 hours ago from the making of this video. So that might be an indication that Ukraine has pushed in here and managed to push through this street here, this country road, and has come up here at the railroad crossing here, trying to push into the village proper from the south. At the same time, a lot of Ukrainian drone attacks in the north. And also, according to Deep State, Russia is no longer in control of this factory. Maybe we have an indication that Ukraine has pushed in along this windbreak from the north here and are back in this factory, pushing Russia southward. Right, so Kursk, my map, what has happened here. Russia has apparently been able to push Ukraine back out of Darino and out of Nikolaevo Darino down here. This used to be Ukrainian up until very recently, but it appears as if Russia maybe has been able to push out of Darino and down south here, and maybe even been able to come across the river here at this crossing point to secure these villages and forest belts, tree lines. As you can see, wide open fields beyond these two villages, so Ukraine should be able to hold unless Russia manages to push across where you have short distances, establish a presence in these windbreaks, and then begin the slow process of pushing along them. But it looks as if it should be relatively easy defended territory with these very distinct lines, defensive lines with the windbreaks holding at the edge of these wide open fields. What else? Russia is pushing into Pogrebki, taking the northern parts. Pogrebki is in trouble. Contested territory here around Staraya Sorichna, which means Ukraine can only resupply Pogrebki and Orlovka via this bridge here. As you can see, dangerously close to Russian positions. So Pogrebki is in trouble, as is Orlovka, unless Ukraine can maintain control here at Staraya Sorichna and utilize this bridge, the bridge that Russia is after. The bridge down here is blown since a couple of months back. So Russia wants this bridge. If they can't get that bridge, then everything west of the Malaya-Lochnia River, the river is located right here, well, then Ukraine has to fall back from Viktorovka, Novaya Sorichna and everything, and Russia can push up to the river itself. Elsewhere, Russia is making attempts to push through Ruskoye Porochnoye towards Cherkaskoye Porochnoye. Haven't really successfully done that. They're stuck up here. But down here, we have seen Ukrainian successes. Ukraine has pushed down this street, thrown Russia out of the suburbs and outskirts of Makhnovka, and also up here at Agronom, Ukraine has pushed Russia out of the village. Russia's in the valley here, hiding in the tree lines and in the valley, but the village itself is back under Ukrainian control. So it's a bit back and forth. Ukraine securing the front here southeast of Sucha, and meanwhile, holding the line as best as they can up here around Pogrebki and the river at Malaya-Lochnia. And over here, Russia has had successes, and the question is, can Russia push across these wide open fields? We'll see what happens. If they do get across here, then they can begin making moves towards Sverdlikovo and the important bridges. In Sverdlikovo, we have two crossing points, one here and the other one is here. This is the bridge, and this will be the goal of a push over here to try and reach Sverdlikovo. So we'll see what happens. That would be Kursk. I mean, Russia is struggling in Kursk. They're having issues, and but they have successes in and around Pokrovsk. However, Ukraine appears to be fighting back, especially here at Kotlyne, where we have this factory that Russia was in control. It is now contested. Ukraine is pushing out of Udachne and contesting this factory. Here you have the FOB. We were talking about the factory. Russia pushed up into it, and like we said, it appears as if Ukraine is pushed in from the north and are now contesting it. And like we've been talking about, this road here leading into street in Kotlyne, it does appear as if Ukraine has made a mechanized assault into this part of town, made it all the way to the crossing point here, moving across the railroad, and this may actually be under Ukrainian control. Question is, how will they be able to supply it? It's a long road to drive, being exposed to Russian fire and Russian drones to reinforce and resupply down here. But we'll see if Ukraine falls back or if they can hold on to this territory. Reporting from Ukraine has this part as under Ukrainian control whenever they make a map update or show a map on their videos. So we'll see how that plays out, but this is interesting. If Ukraine has successfully made this push, then the Russians here are essentially more or less isolated from reinforcements and supplies. So Ukraine may be doing a pincer move, coming down this way, coming in this way, isolating the village of Kotlyne. So there you have it. Potentially Ukraine making important gains around Kotlyne, maybe even surrounding the village, counterattacking and exploiting the fact that Russia appears to be a bit spent with forces and manpower and what have you in the area, and counterattacking. Very interesting. Hopefully the maps will update more on this, especially the south of Kotlyne, where we had that mechanized assault by all accounts. So we'll see where it all ends up. Anyway, that's gonna be it. Hope I'll see you in the next one. As always, go på marsch, Ukraine, and give them hell.